To organize using fractal circles is probably the most important tool, the most important key knowledge to succeed with a peaceful revolution, to succeed to change the plan for the new world order, to organize the resistance, and to create a revolution that will result into something great, something that is so much better than anything we have seen ever before. The fractal structures are unique in its property to make sure that infiltrators are not able to take over the moment, to make sure that the power is always in the hands of the people, to know that we're going the right way forward and that we're going to create something that is good for everyone. And I feel that there's a great need for this knowledge to go everywhere, because we're in a time right now where people are starting to wake up. They're starting to organize themselves and going out on the streets. But if we do not have this knowledge on how to organize using fractal structures, we are an easy match for the power that be. And I want to stress this, that it doesn't matter how many we are. They have some tricks up their sleeve. So they are going to use this trick to turn the revolution against us. If, but only if, we don't know, if we're not prepared. So that's why I'm really want to say to all of you that this information that I'm about to tell you is so crucial, so important, that I really like and want that you take this to heart, that you study it, that you continue to read about it and listen to more videos about it, and to share this knowledge with everyone, and making sure that your local activist group knows about this, so we all can join together and create a moment of peace, and a moment that will survive the stress that we're going to face. This is the most important strategic advice that I have to give, and it's also the first time in history that it will be possible to employ this in a mass scale, and by doing so making sure that we will succeed and that we will create a new society, a society that will be peaceful, will be abundant, and it will be a paradise on earth. So what is so great about this system, and what is the system? There is one key, and that is that we need to avoid going into group thinking and group psychology. This is our downfall. Over and over again in history, everywhere you see a revolution, it has been hijacked. It's being taken over by a small little group of people that knows the game, that are professional, and they take over and they skew the goals of the group, creating conflicts, creating problems, and in the end go away from the original intention and create their own implementations, which always result back to square one. So we can see that over and over again in history, that in the end the elites come out as winners, even though the revolution started out like a true thing coming from the people. It is always taken over because the elite, they know what's happening and they have the money to be able to go in, to take over and hijack the group and make it neutralized, or even using the revolution against the people by creating a new order even worse than the one they tried to escape in the first time. And this we cannot let happen this time, and the tool, the strategy to avoid this is the fractal circles. It's also called a dynamic fractal organization. So the first key here is that we only work in small groups. All decisions that is made is done in a small group. And an optimal size group is about 5 to 7 active people. To have a small circle of people has so many advantages. It is proven in many scientific studies that a small group like this is much more efficient than a large group. It's faster to work, it's faster to make decisions, and the most important thing is that it avoids the group mentality to a large extent. That is, it's very difficult for one person to take over and dominate a small group. Because the small group has a certain quality of safety that creates this intimate situation and a space where you feel that you have the time to express yourself and that you feel that everybody can listen to you. And this is very, very important, because this is just what's happening in a large group. If you have hundreds of people, only a few people will be able to have the courage to step up and speak to the whole crowd. And all people cannot, because there is a limited amount of time, and only the strongest will have this possibility. And obviously the infiltrators will have the skills that most does not have, to stand up and to take over the crowd using intimidation. They will create an atmosphere where you're either with them or against them, and that will frighten most people, even awake people, to join them. And usually they will have money and possibilities, so they will be able to rig the whole thing. And basically that's what's happening now in normal democracies around the world. The ones with the most influence before the election gets elected, because they have the connection in the mass media, they have the money, they are able to give the people what they need, but not what they really need. They're just playing with their lower intelligent behaviors. So the number one rule is to only make decisions and work in small groups from 5 to 7 people. This is optimal. This creates direct action, and you can start working very simply. You can find 6 good friends and start planning something together and do it. Just go for it, because we need action. We need to start sharing this information. We need to plan for manifestations and so on. And to be a small group of 6 people is a powerful group. It's a good size for creating even a good size event. So this is the number one thing. To avoid the ruling structures, the possibility to keep the power confined in a small center group. Instead, we work like we're guerrilla warriors in small, independent, sovereign cells or circles. This is the first and most important thing. But there is more to it. And this is something that it's really more unique to this system, and something that is really going to change the whole game. It's to create a fractal. And a fractal, it's a structure that is repeating itself over and over again, remaining very simple and easy and fast, but by doing it over and over again, it creates very complicated structures in a natural way, just like nature is operating. So how we're going to use this is by combining the knowledge and the skills of the circles, the sovereign circles, into a mass action. And this is done by taking 6 circles of 6 people. And you take all these 6 circles and you combine them into a cluster. So in this cluster there will be 36 people. And they're combined in this way, that from each circle one person will be the main trustee, or the one that the group trusts to represent them or to present the ideas of the circle in the larger cluster. So you vote for one person in each circle of the 6 circles to go together in a new circle, and this new circle will remain in the same way with 6 people. So you will have the same intimities and the same atmosphere in the higher circle. And in this higher circle, all the best ideas from the local circles will be shared, will be discussed, and you will be able to see what you have in common, and you will be able to make a common strategy. So you look at the strategies and ideas from all circles, and you create a common strategy for all circles. And at this point, this strategy is then sent back out to all the 6 circles, and every circle can choose to join in on this bigger operation. So this is the way we create a fractal. So we can get, first we get the most trusted people into the center circle, and we also get all the best idea from all people, all 36 people. And by having 36 people uniting under one strategy, you already have a really good team. This can do medium-sized operations, you can create manifestations, and you can have a lot of preparation being done, and all the 6 circles can have different tasks in the bigger operation, and you can work very efficiently. But this doesn't end in this way, because in a fractal you can make any amount of iteration. So what you can do is that if you have 36 people in a cluster, you can take 6 clusters of 36 people, and you can choose one representative, one trustee, that goes together in a new circle that will remain 6 people. And this is so important, that it always remains a small circle, so that the ruling mentality will not be able to take over. So at that point you have 6 times 36 people, and you have a large group. But this can continue any amount of iteration, and very fast, with just a few steps, you can have thousands and then tens of thousands of people organizing, creating a network, creating a structure that is very efficient for deploying large operations. So you will be very, very efficient. And this system is so incredible. It's super important for an infiltrator to take over, because you cannot come in and just bribe your way into the center circle, because you need to go through this filtering process. Also, everybody will feel safe in their local circle to give their best ideas. So you will get every idea from all directions, from young and old. Everybody will be in there and be able to contribute. So it's not only a center circle of really smart people, but everybody will have a possibility to join. And the way that you already have a structure for deploying your operation by having this chain of command, so to speak, will be super important to be able to know who has what responsibilities. You will be able to split the responsibilities always in 6 smaller pieces, going out until everyone has something to do in their circle. There will always also be someone who knows who is doing what and can make sure that everything has been done. So this is, I think, the most efficient way to cooperate. And this is really something, and that's why I'm going out with this so strongly, that I want you to research this and to understand, because it might take some time before you understand why this is so crucial. This is so essential that it is impossible to create something that is as good as this. It's an optimization of human resources, optimization of time, and optimization in efficiency. And this is our strategy. This is our tool that will change everything. And you don't need to join the Fractal Circle project because it's only a method. It's only a method, and you can bring this method into your circle, into your project, into your organization, and you can start using this instead of having the normal democratic process where people will vote and you will have some kind of majority rule. Instead, divide the groups into small circles of 6 people and do this process, and you will see why this is so good. And this is like how you operate to create a resistance, because it also will be very difficult to stop you, because it's also a dynamic system. When you want to plan an event, you create one question for the whole fractal, for all circles, ideas for this event, and you talk it through and you get a strategy, a common strategy, and you spread it to everyone. But the next project, next time, you will do it one more time. So you will create this structure again. The fractal is created, but next time new people can be voted to be in the inner circles, and that will create a situation where the center circle and the top circle will never stay the same. And especially if someone that is a trustee does not represent their circle in a good way, obviously they will not be chosen the next time. So this will naturally after time create a situation where the people who are able to communicate the ideas from the local circles or the intermediate circles, they will be chosen to represent. And these people will not have any real power. The power they have is only to compile all the information and to create a list of the most essential, the common goals and strategies that everyone has. And then they will also help a lot in to be able to make sure that this happens, to share all the responsibilities. This is the system. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and if you want to know more, please go to fractalcircles.org, where this is explained, and you can also connect with me. You can connect to the Fractal Circle project and join one of our circles. We're currently working with many different projects to propagate this information, most of all, but also doing all kind of street activism and creating cooperation in between all kind of different projects, because this is something that we all need to do together. This is our project, the 99.9%. And I want you in, and I want you to come back and learn more. I'm here, and together we will take back the power into our hands, and we will end the tyranny that has been going on for way too long. So thank you for watching, and enjoy.